I see you.
Right. Time for a Naros. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by.
You're making this too easy.
Let's see how this goes. Is this an easy mission? Let me see who you are. Hey, it's Gut. Welcome back, Gut, to the stream. Thank you for stopping by once again. Just doing sortie right quick. See what chaos ensues.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay.
We are here to hijack the transport of Fomorian power core before it can be installed in the growing Fomorian fleet. We need to take these cores into deep space for destruction. A core eruption will turn this outpost into inhabitable wasteland.
Good, thanks for asking.
We're transporting the core by cargo.
That's good
tram.
to hear.
Find the control console to reroute the tram. Use caution. I am picking up traces. Prosecute shield auras in your vicinity. Keep going. Nobody knows you're here.
So, where exactly are you from in this world? While I get lost.
Good. The tram has been rerouted. It will now take power from your shields in order to keep moving forward.
I'm getting Orkin cells,
Swiss.
which is... Oh, you're from Switzerland. Nice. How's the weather? How's the weather over there? Is it seasonably cold or is it warm? What's it like?
Rainy.
Oh, okay. Is that how it usually is right around now, or
so far, so good. Keep
just
moving
today
the
is just
tram
a
to extract.
extra rainy day? Because I've never been to Switzerland, so I don't know how the weather usually is over there. Does it rain a lot over there? Or I should say, does it rain enough for
Solid
you to
progress.
notice it rains a lot?
I am detecting a prosecutor. Get ready for a tough fight.
Just today we have open song but
Okay, just today it's raining, okay. Alright, that's good to know. Yeah. Rain's not bad, but like if you got like 25 days straight of rain, then you kind of worry, be like, uh-oh.
Extraction. This is the final push.
Be like, is this the end of the world? It's raining every day for 25 days straight? Yeah, that would be worrisome in your area if it's like, all of a sudden it's like, hey, you got a month of rain for no reason whatsoever. Where it's usually sunny.
who do you come?
I don't know what you mean by that question. Yeah, I don't understand that question, so. Could you rephrase that question?
Who land do you live?
I live in America. I live in America. Yeah, you can consider me American.
Sorry for my bad English.
It's understandable. I'm just happy that you stopped by. Yeah, English is not your first language. Just take your time and just get your thoughts together because there's no rush. Nobody's going to judge you on your English and how you say it. It's just as long as you get your point across and express yourself. I'm guessing it's like Swedish is your first language, so yeah. Yeah, it would be
What
like
for
me.
time have you in USA?
It's 4:00 p.m. in America right now, where I'm at.
There is a large section of Grenier
Swiss
Space
German is my
here,
first
leaving
language.
no one standing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
No honor.
Makes sense.
We do learn English in the school.
That's good. Yeah, a lot of people in the world use English, so. Ooh, there's a star. It's kind of Which I don't think they're gonna come back for it.
Today I farmed my first kit gun.
Congratulations. Hopefully it's a kick gun that you enjoy. There are a lot of good kick guns that you have to choose from, so. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, because kick guns are really good. Yeah, there's a lot of builds on YouTube on kick guns that you can build them however you want to, so you should be able to enjoy it. So
You playing on ps4?
yes, I am. Yes, I am. Alright, he's over here.
Have you either to farm fast credits without credits?
My best suggestion is to do survivals till you can get to the point where you can go to the index. But I say go to do survivals until you can get to the index. Then once you can get to the index, then stay in the index. 'Cause that's where people usually go. So.
Thanks.
Yeah, survivals give you like a let's see, they give you more and more credits as you go longer and longer in the survival. Same way with defensive, so if you need credits you can go there. Yeah, whatever easiest survival for you that you can stay long enough in, I would try that one. You just slowly work your way up to it. You can do harder survivals. Yeah, because it's all about doing the game at your own pace.
Just came back to Warframe yesterday. Do you happen to know what the current best primary weapon is?
Best is relative to your playstyle. Like, if you don't like sniping, me recommending a sniper for you won't do any good if you don't like to snipe. So it's like, what is your playstyle? Are you someone who likes to use melees only? Because there's a lot of good melees now in this game.
Anything similar to fire rate like Bolter Prime?
You have broken ranks and they are on
The Tiburon Prime
find extraction.
is considered the best AR in the game because of its ribbon status. You could get like 400% or 300% damage on your ribbons. Plus it had 3 different firing modes for you with the Tiburon Prime. Yeah, so I'll show you once I get out of this sortie mission. But if you, let me see, you say a Bolter Prime, okay. Well, you have the obvious Tellus Boltor since you like the Boltor Prime. Which is basically...
I have a really strong comm ribbon. My only issue is that it takes forever to speak.
Oh yeah, comb? Then you just put fire rate on. See, with the comb, you can justify putting fire rate on. Yes, or get a ribbon that has fire rate on it, so you can put that spot for something else. So let me show you. Most people consider. Let's see, where's the Tiburon? Tiburon. Let me see if I could spell. I'd be able to find it easier. So it's this one right here. This is what people consider the best AR in the game. And let me see if I. And the reason
Ricardo
is.
Prisma.
Okay, so yeah, and the reason is the ribbon disposition was really high, but they might have toned it back down. But the good thing about the Tiburon is this right here. "100% status." So the ribbons are still good. It's just you got 100% status, so you can put a lot of damage into it too, just like that. Now, if you're asking me what my favorite is, my favorite has always been the Tenora. Octavia's signature weapon. Because you can get high crit chance, and you can pretty much orange crit with this thing, and the recoil on the Tenora isn't crazy. And by recoil I mean there's 2 types of recoil. There's vertical recoil and there's horizontal recoil. Vertical recoil is when you see how my camera is going like this? That's vertical recoil. When you go in, your recoil goes up and down like this. And you got a horizontal recoil which goes left and right, like the horizon. The Tenora doesn't have too much recoil, so it'll be in your center when you shoot it, and the reticle will move left and right a little bit, which means you still can aim for headshots easily. There's some weapons like Gut recommended, which is the Prisma Gricata, which has a lot of vertical recoil. So let me go to the simulacrum and show you what I mean, if that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's probably better for me just to show you. Let's see, Strata. So that's the thing too to keep in mind is, can you manage the recoil of the gun on top of it? Because while you're managing the recoil, it's more for your brain to process while shooting at people. So some people don't like the recoil of the Gricada, whereas other people like the flare of it spinning all over the place. It's just based on your playstyle. Let's see, Samaras. So if you can get to this point, I would suggest open up the simulacrum and just testing stuff out for yourself. That way you can say, oh, this fits my playstyle. Whereas it didn't fit Romo's playstyle, but it fits my playstyle. So here's the Tenora. Okay, so notice this wall right here. Let me go to a wall where you have better sunlight.
Another thing I had an issue with when coming back is in simulation LV-105 armored.
Yeah, it's just getting used to the pace of the game again. So here's the recoil of the Tenora. This is just me shooting it. This is me, not rid. This is not me adjusting the recoil at all. This is not me moving my sticks to move or anything. It's just pressing the trigger button, and that's the recoil of the Tenora. So pretty much where you shoot the Tenora, that's where the bullets are going. So yes, it has recoil at max fire rate, but it's not a lot of visual recoil like the Gricada series of weapons, because they're bullet hoses more than the Tenora is. So let me pull out the Gricadas to show you the difference. Let's see, Prisma Gricada. Okay, so so here's me pressing the button, just pressing the button, straight ahead. You see the difference? See how your cursor is just jumping all over the place? Yeah, the Gricada is great, but the Tenora are different types of weapons. So if you like this playstyle,
Tenora is smooth.
Yeah, it's just based on the playstyle. Like if you like that, just hey, I'm just gonna dump bullets and bullets and bullets and more bullets at stuff. The Gricada is good, but like don't expect to hit anything from more than like shotgun range. Because as you can see here, Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, let me put on immunity. Because I'm trying to demonstrate the weapon. Let me get rid of the super heavy level people. Grenadier. So I'll just give you an example. I'm not gonna go Xmas units because, like, yeah, you shouldn't face Xmas units. I'll just go the basement or the regular heavy gunner. So you'll see, like, okay, the recoil. So, like, yeah, you can get the job done with a lot of weapons, but it's just like power versus ease of use type of thing. Like, if you're cool with that bullet spread and you're cool with just like your bullets going all over the place, the Gurkhata is great. But if you need something more like consistent, I would suggest the Tenora, because it's just consistent. It's not flashy, it's not amazing, it doesn't wow you with any craziness, it's just consistent. So here's you should be able to see the recoil on. The difference, as you said earlier, is smooth. Yeah, it's just smooth. So, like, if you're having trouble with your aim, I would suggest weapons like the Tenora, or a weapon that everybody has access to. Is a weapon that most people just don't consider anymore because it's a starter weapon. Yes, it has recoil, but the Bratton Prime is the default de facto. Every game has an M4 or Bratton Prime type of weapon in their games. Let me see if I can. So yeah, the Bratton has recoil too, but it's more manageable than the Gurkhata. And you can pick up the Bratton for like 25 because people undervalue consistency. And in the game where people are trying to kill you, I think consistency matters a lot, don't you think? And Bratton is one of those weapons that's going to always be consistent. It's not going to be flashy, it's not going to wow you, it's just always going to get the job done. And sometimes you want stuff that just gets the job done. So my recommendation, to answer your original question, would be probably the Tiburon Prime. If you just like, I need one AR to rule them all type of thing, I would go with the Tenora. Or the Tiburon, I should say, excuse me. I haven't shown you the Tiburon yet. The difference between a Tiburon is you have to switch fire modes. So right now it's burst. If you look at the thing above my energy bar, it says burst, and you press the R3 button and you switch it to semi. You can switch it again with the R3 button and you can switch it to full auto. That's the gimmick with the Tiburon Prime. It has 3 fire modes. but it's also slower than Bratton. Oh, I have my gas build on. That's why I'm not doing damage. 1 second. And you can tell the gas it was on because of the little icons above their heads. Yeah, damage types still matter. In case you were wondering, like, hey, does damage still matter? Yes, it matters. Let's try this again. Oops. Yeah, it has a lot higher status than the Bratton, as you can see, because it's proccing blast as well. But it also fires slower too. Because originally the Tiburon was a lever action weapon. They gave the Tiburon Prime the 3 fire modes to make it different. Yeah, so it's based on, like, that's why I don't give people hard recommendations on, like, Romo the Crate 09's best recommendation for weapons 2019. That's clickbait stuff. I don't do that. Like,
Buy time to sleep in Swiss.
okay. Thank you for stopping by, Gut. Have a good night rest. Yeah, but Wally, like, I don't suggest to people like the best in class, quote unquote, God roll, whatever, because all of that stuff you see on YouTube, the reason people do that, those top 10 lists, is people love top 10 lists to justify themselves. But it's pretty much clickbait to get you to click their videos. So that's why you hear people say likes, favorite, subscribe before you even watch their video, because they're trying to get people conditioned to sub to their channel so they can have more ad revenue, so they can have more viewers, so they can make more money. So what I say to people is, like, based on my playstyle, I enjoy these things, whereas your playstyle, you may not enjoy these things, and then you come back and be like, man, that weapon's terrible. But I'm like, I never said the weapon was great. I said I enjoy the weapon. So that's the thing, is how do you enjoy playing Warframe? Because 2 different people can play Rhino, they can play Saren totally different, and there's no wrong way to play. It's just how do you want to play the character or the weapon. So that's the only general tip I can give you, is the Tiburon is considered strong in the community, but I prefer it to Nora or the Bratton Prime. So hopefully that's a long-winded way of answering your question. Yeah, the best thing you can do is get the simulacrum and just test stuff out. Because the other thing is, your connection may be really great and you can 2-tap people, whereas my connection isn't great, so I may miss a couple bullets here and there. So it's based on your connection plus your accuracy as a player to justify what's good for you. And I can't tell you, because I haven't played on your connection, to say like, oh, this weapon works for you.
Yeah, it definitely helped a lot. Thanks for the info. I'm probably gonna test out a lot in simulation and with different ribbons.
Yeah. Yeah, because this game is about how you enjoy playing it. Because ultimately, if you have the best weapon in the game, but you hate that weapon, it does nothing for you. Like, I have clanmates who hate the comb. They can't stand using it because of what you were saying earlier, the slow fire rate. But for me, it's my favorite weapon in this game because I like the mechanics of it. So let me go to my stats. Where are my stats at? There it goes. So if I go here, as you can see by the screen, I'm an Oberon main. So that goes to the other thing. Like, for example, a lot of people consider Oberon to be C tier or D tier, whatever. Because, once again, he's a healer. And a lot of people don't put stock or value into healers. But a good healer in all of these MMO style games like World of Warcraft and like The Division and like Destiny, which is going down that path, you need a good healer on your team. So just don't bother with tier lists because it's personal opinion. Everybody's opinions differently. Tier lists are just things to validate people when people who actually play the game don't really look at tier lists. But if you look at the weapons I use, you'll see. Let me go to weapons I use. So you can check this in your profile too. It's for everybody. My most used weapon is Archiplasma, which is a really good shotgun. But the reason it's good is because it deals with crowds. Like, you can fire the Archiplasma down a hallway and take out everybody. Whereas the comb, on the other hand, is a single target weapon that does a lot of damage. So, like I was saying earlier, it's based on what you're trying to do, your play style, and what works with you. So some other people, like people in my clan, they don't like the comb as much as I do, as you can tell from my stats right here. They like, what's the weapon that everybody talks about? It's a good weapon, I just don't use it as much as they do. Yeah, it's a Sobek. A lot of people love the Sobek. I use the Sobek, as you can see here, but I use it less than the Scourge, which nobody uses. So it's personal preference on what gels with you, a player. Yeah, I just say for me, like the Breton Prime is just consistent, and that's why I always use the Breton Prime. Same thing with Comb, and same thing with the Archiplasma. These two weapons are starter type weapons. Whereas, let's see, I have the regular Breton. I think I just passed it. Yeah. So, as you can see right there, I use the MK Breton, which is actually the starter weapon, a lot. So, yeah, it's just based on your playstyle, like, and what activities are you doing. Like, with survivals, you're going to want CC weapons like the Tsar, because you're trying to take out a lot of people in a quick amount of time so you stay alive. So weapons like the Breton don't do well, whereas weapons like the Lens, which take out a lot of people, can do well. So it's based on what you're trying to do. So I just can't give you like a general, like, this is the best in slot for every activity, because there is none of that. This isn't like Call of Duty where you just have one weapon that everybody uses, or Destiny where you have one weapon running a Crucible and it's like, hey, this game is boring because everybody's using the same weapon and just killing everybody with the same weapon. Yet we're supposed to be space ninjas and space saviors of humanity, but everybody's using the same gun. Yeah. Warframe is different, where you can just find your niche, or niche, however you want to say it, and develop a playstyle for yourself and be good at that. So let me complete this sortie and call it a day. Right. Yeah, that's why I try to keep away from like tier lists and telling people like this is the best Warframe game. Subscribe for more. And all this, whatever. I don't. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not that. I'm not going down that lane of just like clickbaiting people. And no, like if you ask me about a certain Warframe, like I can say like this is how I play the Warframe, and you can take from my gameplay an idea of how you can use it and say like, okay, let me implement that into my gameplay and let me build off it. But I'm not gonna tell you like you need to play such and such this way. Like, nah, it's not for me to tell you. You're your own human being. Like, if you can figure out to log on to the internet, like I think you can figure out how to play a video game. Like, it's not for me to tell you how to play a video game. I can make suggestions, I can throw ideas your way, but like I'm not that type of person that's like this is the way it is, my way or the highway type of stuff. It's like no, like people are different people. Like let them play their game. So okay, let's see. So you were saying earlier about the comb. Yeah, so here's my ribbon for the comb if you want to look at it. And as you see me play, you'll see the benefit of this ribbon. So if you want to roll something like this on your ribbon, I think you mentioned you had a ribbon for it. Yeah, you definitely want fire rate though, if you can put it on the comb. Let's see, that should be enough. Yeah, people like Octavia is not great. Like I'm like, okay, sure, like that's your belief, but I don't agree with it. But once again, it goes down to personal preference and where you are in the game. If you run 5-minute missions, I can see why you don't like Octavia. If you're on Hydron for like 5 waves and you leave, I can see why you don't like Octavia. So I can't speak to other people's lists. I can just say what works for me. Because there's so much gradients in this game that it would be a waste of my time to say like, yeah, you're wrong and you don't use her correctly. So it's like, no, this people just might not play what you play. They might just be out at 5 minutes or 5 waves. Whereas you might be a person who spent 5 hours in a survival. Like, your view of the game is totally different from theirs.
We need to find VIP and take them. Do not let the target escape. Captain Vor has lived under suspicion of possessing broken technology that grants him powerful abilities. We cannot allow this. Get to his location and eliminate him.
I see you.
Vor is feared across the system. Do not underestimate him.
Yeah, and so like this is considered quote unquote end game, so we'll see how good or not good Octavia is.
Vor has a tendency to play with his prey. Do not let yourself become distracted by this tactic.
Your corpse will serve us well.
There is the assassination target. You know. Watch yourself. Grenier are on the way.
You will join us one way or another.
And he's dead now. Yeah, so
Nice taking down the VIP get to
Tier
extraction.
list. Tier list doesn't really mean anything. It's just numbers for people who like to just give numbers out instead of actually giving you information. Well, the tier list says such and such is terrible, so obviously you shouldn't use such and such. It's like numbers. Numbers don't tell everything. They just tell you part of the story. People get hung up on numbers way too much. Like we beat that guy in what, like 30 seconds because of the damage buff that Octavia gives. So it's just like find something that works for you and make that your thing instead of worrying about like the best in slot whatever, because if you don't like the best in slot whatever, then it's not the best in slot for you, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So hopefully that makes sense, because best in slot for you is not best in slot for me. What did I actually get for this sortie? Indo, of course. Alright. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And enjoy the rest of your day.